Namaste and welcome to Tridevi Chamunda Mandir in Denver. This is Yamajit, and I'd like to begin by sharing an excerpt from my third book of the Kali meditation series, uh, Chamunda Sadhana, Daily Practices of the Oldest Form of Ma Kali as Worshipped in the Kathmandu Valley. So the title of this chapter is Dakshinkali, the Wrathful Protectress. The sister of Lord Yama and the creation of time, Chamunda and Yama. Oh, and namaste to Bryce, who's joining us right now. Anyone else who happens to be tuning in, please feel free to say hello using the chat function on the bottom of your screen. The oldest scriptural text in the world is the Rig Veda, the first four Vedic texts. Its name means praise of knowledge, and it may date back to at least 4,000 years ago. The text contains hymns to the oldest known of the Hindu deities. Among the early Vedic deities are Yama, the lord of death in the underworld, and his twin sister and consort Yami, a form of Ma Chamunda. Yama and Yami were originally two mortal humans, the first two to be born in this world, and thus the progenitors of humanity. Namaste to Jamie. They were the children of Surya, the god of the sun, and his wife, the storm cloud goddess Saranyu, whose name means conscience. The original meanings of the names Yama and Yami were masculine and feminine twins. The words, however, came to mean those who restrain, thus implying the natural laws to which all living beings are subject. Yama became known as Dharmaraja, the upholder of Dharma, or correct purpose, while Yami was later personified as Yamuna, one of the great river goddesses of India. In yogic subtle anatomy, the Yamuna River is identified with Ida Nadi, the feminine energy channel located on the left side of the body. The twins Yama and Yami were conceived and delivered from Saranyu's womb, and like the biblical Adam and Eve, they were born in a garden of earthly delights, where time stood still. Here, it was always daylight, and the season always spring. Everything remained eternally young, and death did not exist yet. Yama and Yami lived together in harmony, and they grew into adulthood, and their love for one another deepened. Yami longed to become Yama's lover, and thus the mother of humanity, but Yama was reluctant to engage in a relationship deemed incestuous. In the 10th hymn of the Rig Veda, Yami says, "My desire for Yama overwhelms me. To lie with him on the same common couch, I will yield myself as a wife would to her husband. Let us hasten to unite, like two wheels on a wagon." To which Yama replied, "The sentinels of the gods, which wander around us, never stand still, never close their eyes. Associate yourself with someone other than me, and exert yourselves in union, like the two wheels of a wagon. The succeeding times will come when brothers and sisters will perform acts which are unmeet for kinsfolk, but not for me, O fair one. Seek another husband other than me, and make your arm a pillow for your consort." Yami then said, "Is he a brother whose sister has no lord? Is she a sister when destruction comes? Overcome by love, these words I utter. Come near and hold me in your close embrace." Yama responded by saying, "I will not entwine my arms around your body. They call it a sin when one draws near to his sister. Enjoy your pleasure with someone other than me. For your brother, auspicious one, has no such desire." "Alas, Yama, you are weak," said Yami. "In you I find no trace of heart or spirit. Some other female will embrace you as a creeper clings to a tree." Then find another to embrace you, Yami, replied Yama. Yet another enfold you. Even as a creeper encircles a tree, win his heart, and let him win your fancy, and he shall form with you a blessed alliance. The hymn at this point ends rather abruptly with no closing verses. Many interpret that an omitted ending is most likely, in an omitted ending, most likely Yama succumbed to his twin's advances. After all, the human race exists today in great numbers. In embracing Yami and becoming her lover and husband, Yama would have experienced a full life involving marriage and fatherhood. He would have seen his children grow to maturity, marry, and have children of their own. At this point, the divine couple would have been the first to perceive time, and in a once timeless world. In another version of the story, Yami finds her husband Yama lying still beneath a tree, as if he were asleep. She softly called his name and gently shook him, but Yama did not respond. She called louder and shook him even harder, but Yama still did not respond. Yami then noticed that Yama's body felt cold and that he was not breathing. Yami then realized Yama was no longer alive. He had become the first ever to die. Yami was heartbroken at this revelation, and she was overcome with grief. Her tears became the sacred river Yamuna, which inundated the earth. Because it was only daytime and never night, Yami's grief was also endless. The gods and goddesses assumed physical forms and tried to comfort Yami in her despair. But she was inconsolable, saying, "But Yama died today. He died today." After meeting in council, the gods finally realized that Yami's grief was eternal because she existed in an unending state of time. There was no such thing as yesterday, and there was also no tomorrow. To alleviate Yami's perpetual sorrow, the gods reasoned they needed to bring equal intervals of day and night into being. For only then could today become yesterday and tomorrow truly begin. So the great Vedic gods of the earth and sky used their creative powers to bring night into existence by causing the sun to sink in the western horizon and later to rise again above in the east. During the intervals of darkness, the moon and stars made their first appearance against the black velvet vault of the sky, causing the earth's creatures to seek rest and to fall into sleep. And among those creatures, Yami also slept for the first time. She awoke at the dawn sky as it was breaking with her awareness that Yama had died before the onset of night. And she said to herself, "Why, Yama must have died yesterday." And then the next sequence of dusk, dawn, and day had come to pass, and she said, "Why, Yama died the day before yesterday." As time passed and the seasons began to manifest, Yami's grief slowly began to ease with the passage of time, and there were now intervals of darkness and sleep that divided her days, and oblivion came to vanish the pain of her brother's death, as did her cherished memories of their life together. And although her grief remained, while her waking memories persisted, she also experienced the true nature of human existence, and she became wise through the acceptance of her suffering. By being the first mortal to experience the full spectrum of human existence, Yama and Yami became deified and took their place among the gods and goddesses. Because Yama had been the first man ever to be born, he was also the first man ever to die. And according to the Vedas, he was also the first human to discover the secrets of life, death, and the cosmic law that governs all existence. Through experiencing death as a portal to immortality, he attained the divine status of a god in his own right, becoming the Lord of the dead,